Cool. Just wait for the peoples to come in now. I should probably tweet this. Dope. And they're just lovely how everything works. You can just grab stuff, press a button, it goes to Twitter. All that. Super easy. Hello, hi everybody. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How's it going? You like the mug? The mug, it's my head, my skull. It's incredibly well detailed. Like, I love this little guy. Hello, everybody. We'll give everyone a few minutes to pour in before we get started. Oh. Why no F tier? That's a good point. There does need to be an F tier. Hold on. I literally just loaded this up. Hold on. Wait, you hit that to add a tier, right? Add a row below. Yeah, there you go. Then that's F. And it needs to be purple. Yes, purple is or pink's the color for F tier on most charts. I had to look at the cryptid chart behind me. There you go. Cool. Volume up on the microphone, I imagine, because there's no other volume playing. There shouldn't be. I should be able to play, like, music in the background, but... Good morning, Mr. Green. Hope your day is good. I'm having a lovely morning. Bill, thank you very much for stopping by, and I appreciate the donation. I have a highlight reel of the first game of Lethal Company I played with the Red Thread crew. I have a highlight reel of that just went up, that just uploaded this morning. I haven't made it public yet, but I'll do that at some point. 9 30-hour supercut S tier. I don't know about that. Okay, hold on. We'll give it at the 5-minute marker. I'll start describing what we're doing because people are still clicking on or whatnot. It's been 2.5 minutes. But there's an inspiration for this. There's a way I'm ranking this. We'll explain. I mean, obviously you can see the title and see, like, you know. I'm pretty sure this is all of them. Hold on, let's count real quick. Went good this morning, boys. Thank you, David. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 9 times 12 is 112, right? No, 118, I mean. No, 108. Yeah, what am I saying? My gosh. Yeah, 108. I'm pathetic. And then 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114. Okay, there's 115 here. Good morning. What did you prefer, coffee or tea? Coffee, by a long shot. Do you rank Kith moments in your videos? Okay, thank you. Can't stick around, but I love your vids. Oh, I appreciate that, Sayori. Thank you. Thank you so much. It means the world. Berserk video when I have the time for it. Okay, so what did I say? 100 and stream during work. That's a spirit. That's a spirit, Campbell. Thank you. Your absolute favorite creator. I appreciate that. Thank you. 10, 11. Wait. I feel like a child. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 115. Okay. Oh, 500 KZX, whatever that is. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I think that's check money, I'm pretty sure. Thank you very much. Hi, Wendy. The hoodie just came, and it's super comfy. Hope you have a wonderful day. You're amazing. Well, thank you, Velociraptor. That means the world. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. You should go on the Nephilim Death Squad podcast. No idea what that is, but the name sounds like something I'd enjoy. All right, 115, and then we're going to go to my channel. I just typed YouTube into YouTube. Are you serious? Oh, my gosh. I'm a child. 50. Wow, you did not have to do that. Thank you so much. To make up for not having a Patreon, what a lovely way to start the day. You don't have to do that, but thank you. It means the world. Thank you very much, Margaret. Appreciate it. How are you liking House of Leaves so far? It's great, and it hurts my brain as it's supposed to. And the next question, what's the ETA for the House of Leaves video? Next year. Next year. I won't be able to cover it in December, too much going on. Both personal life and other videos. But it will happen. Love you, thank you, poop. Yeah. Magic Spoon add tier list win. So excited for the next red thread. It's awesome. Thank you very much, Nikolai's fourth wife. We're actually recording episode 2 in a few hours, so I want to get this done before that. But yeah, recording the second episode. Hopefully y'all like it. I love the response I've seen to the first one. It means the world. Just got the iceberg sweatshirt. It's awesome. Thank you. Glad you like it. You're my new favorite creator, and I've been watching a ton of your vids lately. Oh, thank you very much, Yeet Machinin. Typing YouTube into YouTube. Thank you. For those that don't know, Kayla Garrett, the mod who's called me dumb just then, that's my wife. So feel free to bully her and call her stupid. Perfect way to end my work shift. Greetings from Germany and keep up the work, Iceberg Boy. Thank you. Actually started binging your content the last few weeks. Appreciate it. Oh, thank you very much, Mike the Bike. I appreciate it. All right, so I have 140 videos on the channel. Thank you very much, Douglas. Appreciate that. I have 140 videos on the channel. However, already looking at this tier list, it doesn't itemize every one. So, like, for example, the conspiracy theory series is just one video. It's just one item to cover it all. So, when you factor in the series... Where'd that go? Where did... Yeah, here. Okay. Yeah, 140. When you factor in the series as one at a time, I think it does come out to 115. So I believe this is a fully comprehensive list. If I get through it and there's one I think's wrong, I'll mention it. The YouTube's link in the description says it's sold out, and I'm not nearly caffeine enough to do anything useful with it. It shouldn't, I don't think. Sword Shop wasn't quite my vibe, but I can't wait for the next one. Love you, brother. Appreciate that, Micah. Thank you very much. Keep the videos coming, Iceberg Boy. Thank you. Next Word Bible episode, I binge your content. We're recording it in... Oh, you're right. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. The U2's... I gave the U2's link for the first merch drop I did last year. That's why it says it's sold out. Because I'm stupid. Okay. Okay, let me fix that. Hold on, stand by. Okay, it should work now. I swear. Somehow I have a channel. Keep the vids coming. Thank you. Good morning. So glad you got the poster mug and you went to... Oh, I appreciate that, Acid Hanta. I hope you like them. I like the products. I tried to make stuff that I would enjoy, and I certainly like them, so I appreciate that. I'm making chili right now. Also, how would you feel if I told you I watch your streams while taking bubble baths? As long as they're PG-13, that's fine. No, I appreciate it. Thank you. Good morning. Oh, wow. You're OG on the channel. Big love from North Carolina. Can't wait for the new figures. Thank you very much, Nat20. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, anyway. Yeah. I put the wrong YouTubes. Ha, ha, ha. Anyway. Man. Southern boy. I appreciate that, Lantern. Thank you. Have some love and support. Thank you, Shaffer. Okay. So, this video came when I saw this other video pop up in my recommended by a guy called Connor's Curiosities. Connor covers criminally underrated. On my other account, my Wendigoon account, I skipped through a few of these videos. Does great content, does great deep dives. If you're into the same kind of thing that I make videos about, unsolved mysteries, icebergs, police interrogations, whatever, very high production content, very good quality. Just, like I said, criminally underrated. But it popped up because, believe it or not, as someone who makes content revolving around Wendigoon, things that are tagged with Wendigoon pop up in my recommended a lot. So I saw this. I ranked every Wendigoon video. So I'm like, okay, for one, thumbnail game on point. And I'm like, okay, I have to check this out. And the guy does, I mean, you can see the timestamp, 1 hour, 48 minutes, full comprehensive breakdown of all my videos. Originally, the plan was to watch this and react to it on stream. But then I thought about it and I felt kind of bad about it, because if I sit here and just like react to his whole thing, and give commentary and stuff like that, like, sure, I think it'd be transformative, but a lot of you all are probably curious as how someone who isn't me but makes videos like me would react to my content. And he does a good description of like talking about why he likes some videos over others, what works, what doesn't. And it's very informative for me to look at those things, and it's kind of a form of feedback of, okay, people like this, people don't like this. And I thought it was a great video, but rather than just reacting to it and pulling, just like you all don't go to his channel because I just do the full reaction and there's no reason to, I'm doing this. I am now linking his video at the top of the description. So at any point, you all are encouraged to go over there, show him some support, check out the rest of his channel, like and subscribe as I have. He really does make great content, and this is a great video. So I thought, okay, I don't want to steal this guy's content, but I like the idea of it. So what if I rank my own videos? Because I'm obviously coming from a very subjective and biased point regarding this whole thing. So what if I do that? We put a tier list together based on how I feel about them, which is very different than how this guy feels about them, and probably very different from how a lot of you feel about it. So go check out this guy's video. All I had to do was search Wendigoon tier list, and this popped up. So I'm pretty sure he made this video. He made this tier list and then saved it on the website TierMaker as an open document anyone can edit or attach to. So if any one of you all also want to make your own tier list, fill it out, and then tweet it at me or whatever, you can just search TierMaker Wendigoon and it'll pop up. So everything we're doing today is thanks to Connor's Curiosities, both the idea for the video as well as the physical tier list we're using is his own invention. So go show him some support and some love. He greatly deserves it. But on that note, we are going to be ranking based off of that. So that's my inspiration for what we're doing today. And I saw some donos go by. Ooh, some big donos. Okay. Wow, $100 from Cheese. Cheese, thank you so much. Hold on, before that, there was one said, "You're my favorite content creator." Oh, I appreciate that, Carmen. Thank you very much. All right, Cheese, $100. What is the scariest cryptid? Thank you so much for that. You didn't have to do that, but thank you. The Wendigos always scared me. It's one of the reasons I named my channel after, because I always consider it like the most haunting. But as far as explicitly just scary, the ones that scare me the most would be like ocean monsters. Things like the Kraken stuff. Not like the Kraken that could take down old naval vessels. I mean things like gargantuan monsters that could take down cruise liners, right? I'd say that'd be the scariest to me. Thank you for the 100. Chemical, thank you. Appreciate it. Watching since 80,000. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you, Patrick. Cyberpunk update this morning. I still haven't got around to playing Cyberpunk. I really want to, but I just haven't got around to it because I haven't had the time. But at some point in the future, I would like to engross myself in 2077 because I really loved Edge Runners. Edge Runners was great, and it made me want to watch the show. I mean, play the game. Normally, it's the other way around. First time catching you live since got day off work. Thank you for making work a little less. I appreciate that. Poster's rad. Kiss from UK. Thank you very much, Haps. That means the world. Thank you. Glad it's December now. Can watch Wendy again. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate the Goatman episode with you and Papa Meat. Pickups from Denton, Texas. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Your wife is cooler than you. Yeah, I know. Are you looking to hire an editor or research assistant? Because I would love to help with production videos, research free of charge. I appreciate that, copyright. I would never hire anyone free of charge. I've been far too blessed off of YouTube to just hoard it. I don't like the idea, because I've had a bunch of people, even friends of mine, approach me with like helping with research. I don't really like the idea because all my videos are kind of in my own voice. So if I don't do the research myself, I feel kind of weird about it. Like, even if I completely trust what the other person's saying, like, it feels strange to just say what someone else said, right? Like, I'd rather do it myself. As far as the editor goes, I've got a lot of editors who I kind of keep on the back burner for different projects. Not really looking right now, but I appreciate the sentiment. Thank you. Are you going to do a video on Jonestown? It's funny you mentioned that. That was going to be one of my videos for December before some other ideas popped up, as well as some like I realized I wouldn't have as much time to make videos this month as I thought because I'm going to see family and whatnot. Um, but that I had already done part of the research for a Jonestown video, so I'm probably just going to do that January February timeline. That's so crazy you ask about that. Longtime viewer. Oh, $50. Thank you so much, The Heathen. Thank you. Longtime viewer, very rarely able to catch you live. Had to take this chance. Iceberg boy hoodie win. You know, I was trying to think, what if I could manipulate the iceberg boy phrase into like an FBI jacket? So like, you know, the yellow letters are like FBI. If it was like IBB, iceberg boy, or something like that, you know? No, don't steal that. That's trademark. But yeah, just a thought. All Sunday Studies S++ tier. Thank you, Fox Pocket. Wendigoon ate my song. Thank you, Levi. All right. I'm going to speed run through these so we can get started. Good. Something to listen to at work. Like all your other videos. Thanks, Wendy. Thank you, Alexander. Psych Major, thank you for getting me through finals. Thank you very much, Auntie Kenzo. Like your content, like your character. God bless. Thank you, Cam Dog. Godzilla vs. King Kong. Wendigoon opinion. I've never really had an interest in the kaiju stuff. I remember as a kid, I thought the concept of a monster destroying a city was kind of scary, but not really. I just never had that much interest in it. My dad really liked King Kong growing up, so I guess I like King Kong, but no strong feelings. Thoughts on FNAF movie? It was, I don't know how it would have been. Okay, so like my wife doesn't know the FNAF lore, doesn't care to know it. And we were like sitting in the theater, and there were so many times she was like, why did that happen? And I'm like, oh, well, like for example, when Golden Freddy shows up at the house, she was like, can they like leave now? And I'm like, oh, well, Golden Freddy's kind of spectral, like, you know, it could teleport or whatever. And she goes, was I just supposed to know that? And I'm like, yeah, I guess you kind of were. Like it did. I didn't think it was that great of a film, but I'm glad people enjoyed it. It's not getting ragged on horrifically by the fandom, so that's impressive in its own right. Even though I still don't know why Hollywood feels the need, because there's a whole plot within the Five Nights at Freddy's games, as muddled and hidden as it is. I still don't know why production companies feel the need to be like, well, we can't tell that story, of course, so we're going to add new characters that aren't in the lore, and we're going to tell a story that's kind of adjacent to it. I hate that. I think that's so stupid. Iceberg Boy streaming 2 days in a row. Where's the Mandela fell and Liminal lad? I killed them. Alestrina, they're not coming back. Jeez, $400. My gosh, man. You really do. Look, I say this all the time. You all support me more than enough by just watching the videos. That gets me ad revenue. By buying the merch I do, that obviously pays me. Like, I don't want people to pay me for just the sake of me existing. That being said, means the world. Thank you so much. You don't have to do that. I don't want you to do that. But thank you. I appreciate it. But now you're banned from donating the rest of the day because YouTube has a $500 spending limit. So, haha, joke's on you. But for real, thank you, Cheese. I appreciate that. Love my signed poster. Oh, awesome. Cool, Pumpkin Syrup. That's very cool. Glad you like it. Anyways, take my money. Thank you very much, Pumpkin Syrup. That means the world. Glad you like the poster. It was fun signing all of them because I'm like, oh, I wonder what number 34 is going to go to, you know. It was neat. Thank you, PJ. Play Metal Gear someday? Maybe. Every live stream, that would be a nightmare. Okay, I'm going to speed run through these. You ever feel like Anton Ego of online horror? Sure. Oh yeah, the critic from Ratatouille, yeah. I do think about that with that quote at his end of Ratatouille where he's like, oh, the work is better than our criticism. I do think about that a lot. Song of Horror Part 2 win. Sometime after Alan Wake 2, eventually. But video production. Video production always takes priority to me playing games, right? So, and as I get more ambitious with my video projects, games have to get pushed back more. I really want to play Alan Wake 2, but I just don't have the time for it. I have nothing to say, just glad to be here. Oh, thank you, PK Jenny. Appreciate that. Thank you very much, Crispy Waffles. Nice talk again. I won't mention all of them. I can mention a couple. Like the Hodag will be in the next tier. I can tell you that, Dr. Winchester. Come on, Nephilim Death Squad, and talk Gen 6 with us. I have no... Oh, Nephilim Death Squad's a podcast. What is Gen 6? But thank you, Top Lobster. Thank you, Twisty. That's very informative. Chances on more Sunday school videos. We'll talk about those when I get to them on here. Appreciate it, David. Thank you. S tier everything, are we right? Y'all are insane. How's the Kane Wendigoon 2 AI voice coming along? I haven't heard more about it since the stream. I'm sure he's cooking something. The Self-Hating Weeb. Have you ever read House of Leaves? I don't know. Have I read House of Leaves? I don't know. You tell me. It'll be a big video when it happens. Because it's... House of Leaves has become so much more than just House of Leaves and culture. And it doesn't get recognized for that. So I want to make a video that not only goes over the story, but points out why that is. But yeah. What are the best investment with the donations? What are the best investment? Like with donations, the best investment for it? More video stuff, I imagine. When does he tier list win? Okay. Why did I read that out loud? He existed, money. Please stop, Bill. Okay, I think we're caught up now. How about DRG? I do not know what DRG is. But if it's like Lethal Company, that's cool. I work right now with my Arsberg Boy hoodie. That's the spirit. Repping on the job. Appreciate it. Okay. Hi, Tom. It's going good. So, let's get started. This is in chronological order, starting at newest and going to latest. But I don't want to do it that way because I like to think at least, that my best work is current, right? Is stuff that is still coming out with and that I've gotten better over time. So I don't want it to be like the good videos first and the bad ones later on. But I also don't... Okay, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Everything... These 5 videos... Well... Okay, now I have to think. Okay, first of all. When I started YouTube... Do you play in a video on Biblical Demons? Yes. When I started YouTube, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was like, I'm going to play videos about... I'm going to play video games, and I'm going to talk about them. Or maybe I'll talk about gun tubers. Maybe I'll talk about the gun tuber space. Or maybe I'll talk about movies. Like, I was just guessing all over the place. And a lot of the stuff I did then, I really have no interest in it now. And also, like, do you all think my editing and stuff is basic now? I had an iPhone camera up until... I can actually tell you when the last video was. Here, I think. I don't think I record... Actually, we can check, right? Because I can just go to my channel. I can look at the footage and tell you. Short term, since every video belongs in S tier. Ha ha ha. Very funny. I don't know what DRG is. I want to scream. Rock and Stone. I have no idea what you people are talking about. You ever played Disco Elysium? I have not, but looks cool. Okay, I could tell you right now. If we go... Wait, too far. I know I did the entire Iceberg series with an iPhone camera. Did I do this one? iPhone, iPhone, iPhone. Hello everybody and welcome to the... This was the first video I did with an actual camera. I didn't know how the camera worked, so the quality looked awful. But I actually recorded this with a Sony. That was the first video I ever did with that. So, all of these I did, like all these back, I did with an iPhone camera. But... What are you all screaming Rock and Stone for? I'm going to shut down the chat. I have no... What are you talking about? Rock and Stone to the... Okay. All right. Also, regarding HOGF Wellstone letters. What is HOL? I think I know what that is. You all always do this. You're always like, oh, you know this thing? What's the video about? It's like, sir, I've never heard of that in my life. What are you talking about? Old Wendy better than Iceberg Boy. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, anyway. I'm going... Alright. I'll wait. I'll wait for y'all to be done. All right, so can I put the chat on an even more slow? Actually, hold on. I could just spam mid rolls. That's right. Yeah, there's a mid roll. Use this as McDonald's money. Thank you, the tax collector. Mid roll. Thank you for keeping us entertained. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Christian. Like here, maybe? I don't know if I did on Stairs in the Woods. Around here, these were all done with the audio of an iPhone. I literally just held an iPhone up and started talking to it. No microphone, no cares to the world. Literally, that's every stream. Alistrina. Chat No More Rock Stone. Oh, House of Leaves. HOL. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. I just hadn't seen it said that way. Thank you, Tom. Old Wendy. Okay. F tier. DK Domo. So, all these down here, immediate F tier. I was goofing around. I was just like, oh, do I want to make these kind of videos? I don't know. We'll see. So it's just me pointing an iPhone at myself, talking about gun tubers for a bit, or watching movies with friends. None of what my videos became. None of what I've set out to do, right? This one, though, while very low quality, I still look back at that video with pride, because it was one of the first times that I was like, I'm really passionate about movies. I'm really passionate about storytelling. Maybe I could talk about one of those passions with a recent film that came out. Maybe that will garner some success. And while it's low production, low quality, and I don't like that aspect of it, I still look back on it like, yeah, I'm happy that I made that one how I did. So yeah, that one's going a bit higher at D tier. Also, my ranking for these isn't as much how good I think the video is. Obviously, that factors into it. But it's more so how important I think the video was to me where I'm going now. Because The God in the Details is the first video I made that kind of slid me towards where we're going now, right? So yeah, I give that one a D tier. I am about to kill the live chats. Watch The Man in the Suit Analog Core. I have not. Yeah, donate to charity instead. Got my chilling the bubble, but okay. Hi, Whittaker. I've never really been religious. I appreciate that, sad girly. Thank you very much. What's your opinion on biblical fasting? I don't really put a lot of stake to it. I know some people, steak. I know a lot of people put a lot of weight to it. If it's your time eating is spent in prayer, I get it. But some people just don't eat and think that's how it works. I don't know. Some people take it really seriously. I don't. More SCP vids win. I don't know. There's none on the docket currently, but eventually. SCP is a mixed bag. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're really bad. And I don't know how to do what I currently do with videos about SCP that isn't just like what Volgun's done better, you know? Real life topic. Showed my family. I appreciate that. Thank you, Inori. The Giants video is big. Haha. So whenever it happens, it'll take time. Thank you, Noodle Mother. Very kind. Thank you, Alexis. Replace F tier with G as for gun. Haha. Thank you, Velociraptor. Thank you, Zachariah. Okay, anyway. So, all those down there. True Horror of Local 58 is the first ARG I ever made, right? It was still horrible production quality, horrible tone. But similar to God in the Details, it was a video that, like, you can look at that one and be like, yeah, I see how that led to where he is now, for sure. And then, I can't remember where I went with this video. I'm going to leave it at D, same as the others. It was inspirational to what I'm doing now, but it's a bad video objectively, like looking back. Thoughts on Disney song Hellfire? It goes hard. Excited to hear you talk about the Hodag. However, if it was not S tier, I will find you. Okay, thank you, Renji. Brugly collab win? I'm familiar with Brugly, I think. I'm pretty sure I am. I'm not, I think I'm familiar, so who knows. Anyway, this video, This video right here, the most popular early channel video, and it is immediate F tier. For those who haven't seen this video, it is just me reading the Reddit post, which is the kind of, excuse me. Again, when I was making videos early on, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know like what my direction was or anything. That video is just me reading. It is just me reading a post for like 2 hours, not doing anything else. There's a point where I cough, like I stop to cough and I keep talking and I didn't edit it out. Like it's miserable. And I hate the idea of just me reading a post because that's the kind of content I don't like now. But yeah, anyway, yeah, easy F tier. I hate that it got as popular as it did because it's just me reading. It's just me reading someone else's work. So yeah, which is why for the first episode of Creepcast we did our own thing with it. Okay, so Sunday studies. We're gonna go ahead. I'm not putting it in S tier. I'm just holding it here for now. We're gonna group all the Sunday studies as one. Okay, we're gonna do this whole thing at once. There's 4 of them. Should be. Yeah. Where's 3? Okay. All right. So let me give you all some thoughts about Sunday studies. Okay. Samuel, Saul, David sinned, death of David, Aaron and Hur. Right. Okay. So, P.S. If you ever watch T Tiger over at lunch, thank you. An everyday series. Okay, so as many of you know, I'm a Christian, right? Very open about that. Always been very open about that. Because of that, the Bible is the most important thing in the world to me, right? Like more important than religion, God, Jesus, whatnot, is more important than anything in the world to me. More important than my life, more important than my job, more important than anything else, right? Is the Bible. I would say more important than my wife and marriage, but they go so hand in hand, right? Like, part of religion is being the husband to your wife, what have you. My code of living, everything that truly is me is Christianity, right? So because of that, I want to make videos that talk about that kind of thing. Oh, Absalom's Folly. I forgot about Absalom's Folly. That's right. Hold on. Let me get that one up there. Because these stories are so... Gosh, what the... Going all over the place. Because these stories are so important to me, I want to make videos about them. I want to talk about them. Because, again, it's the most important thing in the world to me. It's something that's interesting to a lot of people, what have you. That being said, the reason that I quit doing the Sunday studies 2 years ago is because I got convicted about how I talk about them. So, for example, I'll get a little real with y'all here. The greatest thing, or the only thing that matters as far as eternity goes or whatnot, the only thing that matters as far as eternity goes is salvation, is the condition of one's soul, right? So, as a Christian, the ultimate goal I have above money, above finances, marriage, whatever, any desire, is the ultimate goal I have is to make sure others are in a position of salvation with their own soul, right? The Great Commission, right? What Jesus called us to do. So, I obviously want to talk about God. I want to make that a thing. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to start making videos about it. And there are a bunch of people who are like, no, also not just... the Great Commission isn't the only thing. There's also the fellowship, the ministry of the brethren. There's other stuff too, but that is secondary to, the condition of leading others to Christ. That has to be paramount. So there are, I wanted to make some videos that talk about biblical stories and stuff like that. And there were a ton of people who were encouraged by it. I hear people every day say, oh, I was encouraged by what you talked about in Absalom's Folly or one of the Sunday studies. And that's good. That's excellent. I love to hear that. But there's 2 things here. One, a video about a Sunday school story is not going to get the message across to people who don't care about Sunday school stories, right? Like, it's not putting the message out there to people who otherwise might come across it. And the thing that I've set myself up really very nicely for with this channel is that a lot of people come to the channel who are otherwise completely uninterested in Christianity, and they'll check out concepts that are tangential to Christianity just because I'm talking about it. So, for one, Absalom's Folly doesn't draw as many people to Christianity, basically, as much as Paradiso would, or Paradise Lost would, or something like that, right? So for one, it's not really getting that goal across, and if it does, this is the big thing. This is the main reason that I quit doing Sunday studies. If it does, this is what they experience. They watch Wendigoon, right? They go through my channel. They watch this video, which is now age restricted. Thank you, YouTube.
Everybody. Today
they watch this video. Oh, and look at this. I've got clips. I've got
the
diagrams on screen. I've got these long edited segments, background music, right? And then they go to the video right before that one. If I can scroll back down to it. They go to that video right before that one about I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, and I'm using comic book illustrations. I'm talking about the history of the author. I'm making interjections at the end of it. And they expect that kind of thing, and it's like, okay, I'll hear this guy out about his whole religion, his God thing, and it's just me sitting down speaking, like in front of a camera, right?
20 years.
I'm glad some of you all like that. It means the world. I greatly appreciate it. But that is not the level of effort that I want to put into something that means that much to me. So while a lot of you all appreciate the series, that means the world, but I transitioned from doing ones like this to instead doing ones like Paradise Lost, where I'm talking about a story, a great epic that involves stories of God and religion and whatnot. And then from there, at the end of the video, I come in and I give like basically the salvation message of all this led to Jesus Christ, it led to Christianity and whatnot. Because for then, it's a better made video. It gives people what they want. It gets the message across more adequately to those who otherwise wouldn't be interested with it. And overall, I'm more happy with the presentation I put together. So Sunday Studies was incredibly important to me because it was the first step of me stepping out, talking about that online. But at the same time, I look back on it as I should have done more. I could have done more. So that's the reason I don't currently do Sunday Studies, because I try to make it into better topics. I'm planning a series right now that will hopefully do the same thing that like Paradise Lost did and Dante's Inferno did regarding the Bible itself. So Sunday Studies, the reason it's not there isn't because I don't want to make stories about God. It's that I want to make better stories about God. So yeah, so because of that, same as the others, it's going in D tier. So yeah, that's my long-winded reasoning for that. Anyway, we know your ultimate goal is to find a dead body. Thank you. That clip is going to haunt me till I'm dead. Sunday stories help me revitalize my faith. See, there's people like that. Thank you very much, Go West. There's people who it meant a lot to, and I appreciate that. It means the world, but I want it to be more. I want it to be more than just me talking. Can you read out the titles of the videos, please, for audio listeners? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that. That's a good point. Thank you. At least bring back the suits for your videos. I might bring back the suits for some videos. I did bring back the suit in the Lost Books of the Bible one. Oh, I appreciate that, Ace Ventura. Thank you. That's hilarious that your pastor checked you for the Illuminati thing. That's great. Thank you. Beanie Bean, thank you for the 5. And I think I did watch it, Bunkhouse. I can't remember. So anyway, yeah. So that's why those go there. Long-winded explanation, but anyway. Black Parade. Okay. I'm not putting an S tier. We're just holding it here. The Black Parade video is one that I'm so happy I told, because it was me getting across a story in a way that I wanted to, and it meant a lot to me. But at the same time, I've thought about remaking this video so much because like the editing, the way I got across my story, stuff like that wasn't up to what my current standard is. So it's kind of a relic of the time. I don't think it's a good video now, but because it was me putting together my own story of something I hadn't heard a lot of people talk about, but at least not in the way that I wanted to talk about it, I'm super glad I made it. So that's a C tier. Same reason these are down here, but I'm putting it up a bit. I appreciate that, Beanie. Thank you. All right. I'm not a religious person, borderline. Thank you. I appreciate that. The Perry the Platypus. Max Bench. I don't even know, man. I just do machines. My girl and I love your content. I appreciate that, Skeletal Commissar. That means the world. Thank you. So, C tier. I see you all saying S. Absolutely not. No. This video was pretty lame. It's just me talking about the Call of Duty story. It was pretty rushed to make. I remember like when I was making these early channel videos, I turned them around quick. Like I would make a video and immediately be like, okay, I've got like, I could get this thing turned around in the next 12 hours. And I normally would. It was one of those early rush ones. But when you're starting out on YouTube, you got to do what you got to do. Hi, Wendigoon. Want to say thanks for what you do. Thank you very much. You really got me into learning. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Oh, and $100. I didn't even realize what the amount was for. I apologize. Thank you so much for the 100. You really don't have to do that, but that means the world. Thank you. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say too. I appreciate it. The Last of Us is telling the wrong story. I stand by the points I made in this video as far as The Last of Us 2 story. I think it's ambitious. I think it's cool, but I think it was the wrong move for a sequel. I'm putting it a D tier. Not a great made video, but it was one of the ones that pushed me to where I am now as far as story analysis. Love your videos. It's my own work. Thank you very much, Edit. Appreciate that. Okay, SB, thank you. I wouldn't do a whole podcast explaining my beliefs, but I've talked about my beliefs a lot on podcasts. Kingsman, but I'm sure most of you don't even know this video exists. I appreciate that, Cold AF. Thank you, thank you. I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and close the. I think because I feel bad about not reading super chats when they come in, but for the sake of this video, I think I need to turn them off because people are gonna keep donating. I'm gonna feel bad about not reading them. Okay, a bunch of you probably don't even know this video exists. It's immediately S tier. The Kingsman Church, but with the Wii Sports Resort theme. So, wait, I'm already on the channel. I could just. This video, I actually remember I made this video the night I got monetized. Not on purpose, but just cause. So I made a bunch of videos, I get monetized, and then I already had this one ready to go. I'm like, well, I'm posting it. It was literally just a meme. Like you see views here now, like 2.8 million, 86,000. All of these were below 1,000 at this point. Okay, I had like maybe 800 subscribers. I was just doing this channel for fun, so I made this. Just. And it's just the whole scene, but with. It's literally just a meme. And I mean, what am I going to do? Take it down? Take down history? Take down legacy? Of course not. I can't do that. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's F tier. It's just a joke. Yeah. But I see you all saying S tier. I can't take it down. Like that's too ridiculous too. Thank you, Edit. Thank you, Struggle Cook. Okay, I'll say this. I'll leave them on, but I'm not reading chats anymore, so at your own risk. Mr. Goon, if a hot Latina you work with grabs your hand and dances with you at work, is that a sign or is that just part of her culture? If I did that, if she did that to me, I'd pepper spray her because I'm a married man. But that's obviously flirtatious, so go for it in your case. Not sure if you saw my tweet, but I'm finishing my arm with crypto tattoos. Thank you very much, Cameron. All right, no more. Not looking at chat. All right. So, yeah, that goes there. Oh boy. I proved the JFK conspiracy with a whiteboard. All right. This video is one of the iceberg series was where does he have? I don't think any of the conspiracy iceberg tiers are here. I think it's all just the supercut, which makes sense, right? The supercut's the compilation of the whole series. Yeah, here's the supercut. I don't see any. Yeah, okay. So the conspiracy iceberg was going on at this time, but other than the reason I actually made this video is because JFK got mentioned in the conspiracy theory iceberg. And I was like, oh, it'd be fun if I talk about that for a tangent. So I made this video. I actually, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to have fun with chat. I'm still not reading your super chats. I said I wouldn't. We're gonna play a game. C through F. All right. Where do you think the JFK video goes? I'm going to do this for some of the more popular ones. Where do you think the JFK video goes? I'm going to call it at 1,000 votes, I think. Well, actually, I see which way this is leaning. Thank you, Vaporwave. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. All right. S tier by far. You all think this is an S tier video. Guess where I'm putting it? It's a C tier. It's easily a C tier. I want you to look at any of my current videos, the amount of research, the detail I do, stuff like that, and then look at what I do for the JFK video. I've thought about remaking the JFK video so many times because I could do so much better research now. I could make it so much more in depth. It's 19 minutes of me mostly making jokes about the most surface level details of the conspiracy. I could go into people involved. I could go into conspiracies around it. I could go into trials that happened afterwards. It could be so much better. And I'm glad the video was successful because it kind of pushed me in the direction of making more conspiracy theory content, right? And I'm glad people enjoy it. It also encouraged me to be more myself, to be more casual in videos. Glad all that happened. But it's a C tier video. It's really not that good. The jokes do not make it S+. You all are insane. So, C tier video. If you think any of my early videos are even A tier, I just think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. Excuse me. So, yeah. Roko's Basilisk. This video, I bet a lot of you haven't seen. A lot of my early videos, I thought what my whole channel is going to be is I was going to cover the conspiracy theory iceberg, and then I was just going to make videos about things in the conspiracy theory iceberg. Obviously, I've moved away from that now, but that's what I thought my channel was going to be when I started gaining success with it. So this is another one of those. I'll leave it at C tier because I like what the video was. It's also funny back then. I was using like full square PNGs on it. Man, that's sad. I like what the video was. I thought it was fun, but I mean, it's just not up to the quality of what a normal one would be. I also nowadays don't think I'd make a full video about Roko's Basilisk without talking about modern iterations of it with things like AI. It's so easy to take this video and then talk about, modern horrors that exist, and I just didn't do that. I just talked about the theory. So now that I say that out loud, I think it's D tier, actually, because it's just me describing a theory for 13 minutes. That vid is just when I knew I'd be alone. I'm glad some of you all like that video so much, but not for me. this video, Christmas with the Cranks is, I don't know if you all know about this one. You probably don't. So Christmas with the Cranks. Yeah, Christmas with the Cranks is a communist satanic propaganda film that proliferates ideas. Okay, so this video is actually funny because when I started, I didn't have any followers. No one knew who I was. I just got monetized. So I make this video and there were like some accounts, like political accounts on Twitter that were posting this video and like, look at how far the right has gone. Look at how pathetic the right has gone because they thought it was serious. They thought this was serious. Hold on. Where's that line that everyone quotes?
Perfect time to put up Frosty.
I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way because it's important for the entire overarching theory of this. But essentially, Frosty is Baphomet the blood god. I mean, look at It was just a meme. The reason I made this video is because my mom watches this movie every year at Christmas. Every year since I was like 10 years old. And I was up to my neck with it. I'm like, I hate this movie. I think it's dumb. And my mom was like, no, it's a movie about families coming together and being happy during the holiday season. And I'm like, you could make a surface level theory like that about anything. You could say any movie's about anything. I could say that this movie is a satanic propaganda flick. And she goes, no, you couldn't. And then this video happened. The reason this video exists is to meme on my mom. So for the past 3 Christmases, every Christmas, I will send her this video to be like, remember, that video you like is about the devil. I want you to keep that in mind. So it's literally just a way for me to bully my mom. And it ends on, do you all know how this video ends? Hold on. And threats of terrorism throughout for these people who gift capitalism, such as the United States. For example, the shot at the end of the movie of Santa's carriage flying over the city with skyscrapers visible in the background is a very blatant reference to 9/11. Thank you all so much for watching. Merry Christmas. I ended on a 9/11 joke. I ended on a 9/11 joke, and there were people on Twitter like, the right is poisoning our youth. They're killing our minds. Like, yeah. That being said, if we're being objective here, it's an F tier video. It's a joke. It's just a joke video. It's not well made. It's not high production. It's literally a meme for my mom. I love it for that reason. And I love it because people took it seriously. There's a bunch of comments on that video now that are like, this is ridiculous. You think this video is about that? You don't know. What do you even think communism is? Like, there's people heated about it in the comments of that video to this day. So I love it for that, but it's a joke. It's not a good video. So, oh, LPS Emily, hi. Hello. Good to see you. Yes, it's F tier. What are you talking about? I thought I saw... Oh, thank you, Spider-Woman. That's a weird thing to say. Yes, Connor Curiosities is here. Hey, what's good, man? Hey, Wendy. Thanks for checking my video. What a coincidence for you to do this as soon as I upload. Haha. It was a while in the making. Love your videos, man. Much love. Hi, Connor. So the reason you missed it, but at the beginning of the stream, I said the reason I'm doing this video is because your video right here popped up in my feed. I watched it, and I thought it was great. And rather than doing a reaction and stealing all the views from your channel, I linked your video top of the description for this stream for people to go check out. And then it's like, why don't I just do my own and then give credit where it's due that you were the inspiration for this. So yeah, this is fully your doing, Connor. Appreciate it. And thank you for stopping by. I really enjoyed your video, by the way. A lot of the stuff you said about me was very kind. I appreciate it. So yeah. How dare you? Had better subscribe. I already did. I subscribed and I liked. And you know what? Just for that, I'm hitting the bell. So there you go. Everyone else should go do that as well. Link in the description. So anyway, thank you very much, Connor. How dare you meme on your mom? That's my job. Thank you, Chad. All right. Anyway, So yeah. That's a fun video to look back on. The Nashville Christmas attack theory. Also, it keeps every time I try to scroll, I do that. Okay. Also F tier. This video is 6 minutes long. I think it's, well, not counting the Kingsman church fight, I think it's the shortest video on my entire channel. It is me. Do y'all remember that bombing that happened in Nashville like 3 years ago, I think? I made this video like the day or two after that happened. And it's literally just going into the theory about why he did that, why he might have done that. Because it was a guy who drove up on a curb and then he alerted the police for 2 hours. He like had a siren playing that a bomb was about to go off. And he sat in his car and listened to music and smoked cigarettes until he died. Until the van he was in exploded. So it's just a video of me explaining he might have done that because the NSA is known to use buildings like that as listening posts. So maybe he was he actually had a history of working at that building. Maybe he was anti-government, decided he wanted to hurt the NSA. He was diagnosed with a terminal illness, if I remember right. So he's like, well, rather than suffering in a hospital bed, I want to kick the boot right before I go. So it was literally just 6 minutes of me explaining that. Not really a lot of research or anything like that. It was just, yeah, F tier. Okay, Star Wars Iceberg Explained. This was not my first iceberg video because, as we mentioned, the conspiracy series was going on at this time. Let me make sure I'm right about that. Yes, conspiracy series, and then that. Yeah, so, but it was my first standalone iceberg video. That being said, like, I like that I did it because it was a standalone iceberg video, and that pushed me to make more of them, but it really wasn't that well made. Like, it's just me looking up Star Wars facts and then talking about them, so D tier. Inspirational, but not much else. Okay, I don't know if y'all knew this. Every single video I make cannot be S tier. You cannot say that to everything I pull up. Thank you, Chemical. Because everything I pull up, y'all are like, oh, it's so great, it's so good, blah, blah, blah. No. I'll give you this, though. The SCP iceberg is C tier over the iceberg. Because whereas this one's just like pop culture facts, the SCP iceberg was more investment into the actual concept, where people who weren't familiar with it did learn something. Whereas the Star Wars iceberg was the equivalent of like a BuzzFeed article, right? So I do like the SCP iceberg more so. I like more so diving into like what creators and storytellers have done online. And I also got the opportunity to talk about why I enjoy some of those stories over others. So I think it's better. LPS Emily, more SCP videos in the future? Yes. I don't know when, because I've got a bunch of stuff on the docket, but eventually. Hi, Iceberg Boy. Have a great stream. Thank you, Dregs. Okay, this one's weird. Again, just because I laced up an S tier doesn't mean it's S tier. I'm just holding it there. Every SCP-01 proposal explained. While I would put it at C tier, because the SCP iceberg's at C tier, it's not as dynamic as that one. It was more compressed. Not compressed. It was more rushed, the creation of it, because I'm like, oh, because again, my channel at this point has, I think, maybe 10,000 subs. I can't remember. A small amount compared to where I'm at now. And I was like, oh, this video does well. Time to immediately rush into the same topic again. So it wasn't that thought-provoking. I didn't do that much with it. I just read off a bunch of stories. So to be fair, I got to put it down D tier. What were the original 5 videos you wanted to make? Also, any update from Waffle House? Oh, yeah, that whole thing. No update from Waffle House. I had said early on in the channel that there were 5 videos I wanted to make when I started. The Black Parade video and the No Country for Old Men video being 2 of them. But honestly, my channel just moved in a direction. Like, because when I started off, remember, I was like, I want to make videos about movies and guns, right? And I cover movies somewhat, and guns may pop up, but I don't make videos about them altogether, per se. So my desires have just changed since then. I think the other three I wanted to make was I wanted to make a video about Scorsese, I want to make a video about Tarantino, and I forget what the third is. And those videos just aren't like my kind of content now. So the third might have actually been a biblical related video. I could probably figure out what it was if I thought about it. But yeah, it's just stuff that my channel's not geared towards now. My desires have shifted as time has gone on. But I did make two of them, the Black Parade video and the No Country for Old Men video. So yeah, that's basically what that is. The SCP Iceberg B tier at least. Okay, hold on. Hello everybody and welcome to this concept is mentioned. The absurdly loud background music for one within SCP-2718, whatever existed before we did. Moving on. 001 is innocuous. This is a theory that has propped up 100 spirits all gathering together. This is building up
the incredibly loud AC unit referred to as.
While I was at that house, anytime I recorded, once I learned what I was doing, I would take a shirt and stuff it over the AC unit, because if you just turn off the AC, it would get way too hot in that room. So I would just stuff the vent next to the camera so that it wouldn't make that noise.
The monster-shaped hole. As it's said by people experiencing these dreams, that is actually a...
No, I gotta leave it at C tier. I think it's good compared to my early videos. I don't think it's that good. I don't think it's B tier compared to what I did later. You sure your name's not Chad? Sure. Thank you, Chad. Yeah. Anyway. The childhood trauma explained. This is... I appreciate this video. Wait, where did it go? Did it just disappear? Wait, I was holding it. Every time I try to scroll and click at the same time, it does that. But you have to do that because the page is so big. Unless I zoom out, but that's stupid looking. Where did it go? Okay, hold on. That's a fine level. Okay, this level of zoom's good. Wait, where did I drop it? Here it is. Okay, gosh. So, the childhood trauma explained was just me describing stuff that scared me as a child. Okay, Peepaw, shut up. It's just me describing stuff I was afraid of as a child. It was a big trend at the time to talk about scary videos, like videos that scared you as a kid. But it was just that. It was just me talking about videos and stuff that scared me as a kid. No like research, no in depth. It was just me talking. I'm going to give it D tier because I like that it encouraged me to be more personable and myself in videos, but it's not that well made. Okay, now we're getting close to stuff that I would consider good content as far as I'm concerned. Oh, hi, nobody. This is a video most of you probably haven't seen. The game that could destroy the world. Which for one, I remember when I made that video, I'm like, this title, this thumbnail, this one's gonna bang. It's gonna pop off, and it did not. But I was very proud of it at the time. So like...
Picture this with me. So human says to shut yourself off.
That super loud background music. But it was a whiteboard video talking about like AI and roles, which is surprisingly relevant to the modern day. I thought this video was going to pop off, and it didn't. But this is one of the first videos where it was me taking an idea, a lesser known thing that happened, a game that was played online, and then turning it into an extrapolation of what this could mean for AI, what this could mean for the future, whatnot. It was really the bones of me doing my own theory crafting, not just regurgitating information that's previously out there. And while the video leaves a lot to be desired technically, it is, again, kind of the groundwork for a lot of the stuff I did later. I'm going to put it as our first B tier, I think. Because that video didn't mean a lot to watchers. It didn't perform that well, per se. But I'm super happy with how it turned out. It went a long way. Is there no longer a Ruby Ridge video coming? I mean, there might be. I covered most of what I wanted to say about it in the Waco video, but maybe at some point. I don't know. I feel like I'll cover it if I decided to cover the Oklahoma City bombing, but I don't know. The Ted Kaczynski video didn't get my entire channel terminated, so that may let me push the boundaries a little bit with more topics like that. I'm just playing, but yeah. All right. The 100K Q&A. If it's just me replying to comments. There's nothing more. Oh, fun fact about that 100K Q&A though. That is the first video on the channel that I did not edit. Every video before that I edited myself. This is the first video that I sent to my editor, Caitlin. Caitlin is someone I went to high school with. We've been friends for years. When I hit 100,000, this is another thing. A lot of y'all probably don't know this. I didn't tell anyone in my life that I was making YouTube videos. I told my, at the time, girlfriend, Kayla, after I had made like 5 or 6. So I post some videos. They get maybe a couple thousand views. And I kind of mentioned like, oh, I've been making videos for fun, you know, just to see. And I told my family after I mentioned one day, I went to go get food, and I was a college student at the time. I didn't have a job. Well, no, I did have a job. So I forget what it was. Somehow it came up that I had money to spend. And I was like, oh, I've been making money on the side. And they're like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm making YouTube videos. And they're like, what? And I had like 20,000 subs when I told them. And my sisters were like, you just weren't going to mention this? Because I never tell someone, I still don't do this to this day. I never tell someone I have stuff going on unless it's moderately successful. Because I can't stand people who are like, oh, well, I'm planning to do this. I'm starting to do this. I'm thinking about doing this. It's like, okay, just do it and then come back to me later. So I was afraid to tell anyone that I was making YouTube. But I remember when I hit 100,000 subscribers, I was like, okay, it's not just like a thing that is completely, you know, that is inconsequential at this point. So I'll let someone else know about it. So Caitlin, who was a friend of mine in high school, who we stayed friends through college, was the first person, if I can recall, outside of my immediate family and girlfriend, who I texted and was like, hey, I have a YouTube channel. Could you edit for it? And she's like, sure. And she checked out the channel and she goes, okay, when you said you had a channel, I was assuming like maybe 100 subscribers, not 100,000. So yeah, the first video she ever edited for me was this one. So that's a fun fact. But I mean, it's just me talking about questions and comments. F tier. Okay. Love your vids, dude. Can't wait to drink my gallon of milk from the Wendigoon mug. Please don't do that. I want to get more coffee, but I don't want to leave the stream hanging. So yeah, basically, the bare minimum for success to Wendigoon. No one can know before that. My family knew before that, but yeah, I can't tell anyone else about beforehand. Like the movie stuff, I didn't tell my immediate family I was doing the Stalker movie stuff until like we posted the Kickstarter, which there was like so much writing and stuff that went into it beforehand. I don't tell like you all, I have movie stuff going on right now, stuff planned for the future. I'm not going to tell you about it until it exists, because I hate the idea of like being like, oh, I'm going to do this thing, and then it doesn't happen, right? Same reason I didn't tell anyone about YouTube. But now the YouTube's happened. I'm still, not for the same reasons, it's just because I don't want to be braggadocious. Like, on my personal Instagram, which a lot of you have found, because there were a bunch of people getting followed who weren't me, so I'm like, I'll just change my name to Wendigoon so people can find me on there. But if you just know me from my IRL life, like my personal life, other than for the Stalker film, I would occasionally put things on my story. But other than that, on my Instagram, I don't think I don't think anyone knows I'm a YouTuber. Unless they check my story, they would never see it. I just post pictures of like my wife and stuff like that. There's a bunch of people who I like went to high school with who follow me on social media who I'll meet, and they're like, so where are you working now? What you doing? Like, no, like, because I hate explaining what I do. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to say, but I still kind of have that mindset a little bit. So yeah. Okay. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get coffee. But before I do, the most disturbing movie Iceberg, which at this time has 11 million views. All right. S A. No, wait, no, that's not what I meant to do. That's not what I meant to do. I wasn't done adding the options in poll. Okay. Do that again. S A B C Q F. Okay. Where do you think the disturbing movie Iceberg goes? And as you're voting on that, I'm gonna go get coffee. I'm back. All right. Yeah, Hassan stream, share stream, woohoo. All right. Let's see what this poll says. I am proud of you all for being more realistic. I'm so glad that a lot of you all said A tier instead of S tier. But to be honest, the disturbing movie Iceberg is it might be a C tier video, but because of its success, I'm going to call it B tier for me. Because this is the video that blew up my channel. This video hit 1 million views in a week. None of my other videos were even close to that. This is the one that caused me to be in the position I am now. But I'm going to give it B tier because this video could have been done so much better. It is a lot of me describing stuff that I can't show or I can't talk about, but it's me describing it in really vague ways. I could have done a better job at that. I could have gone into more detail about the production of it, why it was made, what its impact was. Instead, it's just, and a lot of, like, I was so bad at describing it, a bunch of people accused me of not watching the videos or watching it. And I did at least watch clips from everything on the Iceberg, but I don't blame them for thinking I didn't, given how bad I was at describing it. It's mostly me being like, yeah, this one's real bloody, people die. That's weird. Anyway, And moving on to the next one, I'm kind of talking myself into putting it at C tier, honestly. And it was a lot of me just kind of implying stuff rather than talking about why it was interesting, why it was cool. There's ways to do a disturbing movie iceberg, and I think I did that a lot better in the disturbing video game iceberg, where I talk about the controversies around it, what led to it, what caused it, stuff like that. That video could have been so much better. I'm glad that it garnered the success it did, because it really, more so than any other video early on. Maybe the Conspiracy Theory Iceberg series, but even then, that wasn't one video. That was a series. This is the one video that propelled me more than anything else has. Still to this day, as far as ratios go of like how big you were to how big you got, nothing has impacted my channel as much as that video. So I'm appreciative for it. I'm glad you all like it, but I can do better. So, B tier. All right. The Lost Tapes video. Just me watching Lost Tapes and reacting to it. The audio quality was awful, I remember. I'm not going to put it at F tier because I'm glad it got more people talking about Lost Tapes in the current age. That's a good point, Eddie. S tier for impact, personally. C tier for quality. Maybe even D tier for quality. So we'll call it B. Yeah, impact-wise, greatest impact on the channel. Where's the Wendigoon tier? Yeah, Connor in his video, he did a Wendigoon tier above S tier, which I appreciate. But for me, Connor, I'm treating S tier as the Wendigoon tier, like the videos that I say are quintessential for the channel. Again, if I'm saying like stuff I know for, this is an easy S tier, because this is probably one of my top 3 performing videos of all time, right? But looking at it as far as quality, how good the video is, I have to put it at B. But yeah, the Lost Tapes video isn't F tier because I'm glad I got to talk about something that was less remembered at the time. And technically, it's one of my earliest iterations of me talking about cryptids, so I'll give it D. But it's really F as far as quality goes, if I'm being honest. All right. The Religion and Cult Iceberg Explained. If I'm being honest, I have very fond memories of this video.
This iceberg does.
Of me.
Maybe the solution isn't to kill all of them.
I didn't know I talked about the Branch Davidians. Oh my gosh, that's foreshadowing. I didn't even know I talked about that in that video.
Jonestown.
And Jonestown. Oh my gosh. How many topics do I eventually or plan to cover that I talked about?
So yeah, I'm going to do...
Anthill... Bro, that's 3 different ones from this one video. Heaven's Gate, Marcus West. Yeah, so it's me talking about different religions, where they go. And like, I had people from a lot of these obscure religions DM me or email me and be like, this is... like, you got most of it right. This is a bit of a correction, though, but good job for the most part, which is crazy. And I remember, like, this encouraged me to talk more about religion, cults, experiments, stuff like that. This is honestly probably one of my best iceberg videos even today. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's a solid B, for sure. If I'm being honest, this also... Because there's a bunch of YouTubers who they make one really cool video and you never hear from them again. So hold on. It's definitely B tier, I think, as far as quality. But honestly, to me, this video was more important than this one, right? Because I made an iceberg video that did well. I made another iceberg video and it did really well. And that was kind of the trip for me of like, okay, if I don't quit now, I may have a shot at this YouTube thing, because it did successful off the back of the first one. I also remember this is the first video I told my in-laws, now my in-laws, at the time my girlfriend's family. I was going to her house and I met them. And I remember right before I posted that, I'm like, oh, I started a YouTube channel. And they're like, oh, that's cool, good for you. So like I connect all these videos to like personal memories I have regarding them. Because I was able to recapture success, I have to put it at A tier. Yeah, for sure. A lot, Curmudgeon. Pilgrim's Progress would probably be on the short list. The Anthill Kids Cult. Okay, so quality-wise, I think it stands in a similar place as this. I don't think it was as... It was a bit more in depth. So the most important thing about the Anthill Kids cult actually has nothing to do with the video. So I make this video where I describe the Anthill Kids, and near the end of the video, I say this. Where's it at? Oh wait, no, that's not the Anthill Kids video. Near the end of the Anthill Kids cult video, there was one part. I may not be able to find it, but we'll see.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Wendigo. The members showing the authorities the body of Solana. I've sliced him up. This is our live today.
It's about a cult leader who brutally killed some people, tortured a lot of others in the cult he led.
Unimaginable horrors. But I want to highlight something in it in order to start a follow. He lived, and while yes, it is a horrific and evil tale, and it's interesting as always. Thank you all for watching. But it will also always be a good place as abuse. But after experiencing an extreme punishment for doing so, do the same thing again. And not only that, but her getting out and telling the police.
I'm describing the woman who got away from the police, who managed to tell the cops.
Could have saved some, if not all of their lives. The reason this story didn't end like Jonestown was a horrific and evil tale. And it's interesting as
somewhere in there, I won't go looking for it right now, but somewhere near the end of this video, I say a line about her where it's to the effect of, yeah, even though I know she'll never get over what happened to her. Or I say something like, I don't know how she could ever get over what happened to her. Something like that. I wasn't even trying to be offensive or crude. I'm just like, this story is so brutal, I don't know how she could have gotten over it. And I got an email after I made that video from someone who, I think I've seen them around the internet before since then, so I'm pretty sure it was legitimate, who was the daughter of that woman. The daughter of the woman mentioned in the story. And she emailed me, and she was like, you got the details right, you got the story right, blah, blah, blah. But I just want you to know that after everything that happened at the cult, my mom met my dad. They lived a long and happy life together. They had 3 kids, including me, and she lived the rest of her life with a very loving family. So yeah, she got over it. And that was a huge check for me about how I cover cases like true crime cases moving forward. Because yes, it was a horrible story that happened to this girl. And probably the thing that she was known for more than anything else in her life. But there was a life after that. She was a mother, she was a wife, she was a caretaker. She was so much more than just the victim of a cult. Just that. So when I talk about stories and I say things like they never could have gotten over it, or oh, they were broken by this forever, I have to be careful about how I speak about these people, because to a lot of people, the 4.9 million who watched this video, my word, to a lot of people, the way I talk about these people is the way they're going to be remembered forever. And I need to keep that in mind. So this video was a huge vibe check for me, how I work moving forward. It's why in videos moving forward regarding real people, I try to be more respectful. It was very important. That part of it was more important for me than anything else that came out of that video. So yeah. I think I'll leave it at B tier. I think it's a B tier video. I still like it, but yeah. Just saw you subscribe to Fortress Films. I did a reaction to Emesis Blue on the channel at one point. I'm not going to make a video about it, but I did react to it on this channel. This is also, okay, this video right here, I remember when I made this video, is the first thought I ever had to myself about maybe I could do YouTube full time. Because it was at that point in the, in my uploading of YouTube, I'm like, I may be making enough money eventually that I could do this instead of a job. So I remember I didn't tell anyone yet, but I remember posting this video and having the thought to myself, I might be able to do this full time. So that video is important to me for that reason. Doesn't really relate to the content at all. I like this video. I thought it was. I like the idea of taking like this scene from history and talking about how hilarious and ridiculous it was. Uh, that being said, I could have done more with the visuals besides just a whiteboard, but I think it's a solid C tier. I like it. I'm still happy with where it's at for what it is, at least. Um, the true crime, the unsolved true crime iceberg. I personally think this is my best iceberg. I don't know if I'd call it S tier though. Huh. I don't know. I'm conflicted now. Okay, we'll do this. It's an A tier. If there's less than 5 things at S tier by the time we're done, I'll put it in S. So, the story of the 38-minute war, exact same to me as the Archduke video. Funny, I like I was able to talk about it. Could have done more visual wise or whatever, but I had a good time making it, and I'm glad for what it is. This is an F tier. This is literally, I have no idea why I posted it. It was just leftover gameplay from the second video I ever made on the channel. So, I don't know. Same with this. It's just me goofing off playing games because I thought I could incorporate that, but no. The Bible Theory Iceberg Explained. That one's actually, this will be our first S tier. The Bible Theory Iceberg Explained, because this is kind of like the synopsis of my whole channel, like weird biblical lore mixed in with like real stuff, whatever. Yeah. I'm very happy with how that video turned out. It gave me excuse to talk about angels. It was a big stepping point in learning. It didn't just have to be Sunday studies. I could incorporate Christianity or whatnot into other more interesting aspects I was already doing. And I go back and look at that video even today, and I'm like, that turned out great. I love how that turned out. So yeah, I've got to give that one S tier. I joined late, so I might have missed it, but did you answer the question in my pinned comment? What is Wendigoon drinking? Hold on, I didn't see your pinned comment. What is everyone drinking? Cocoa tea, giants, and things such as giants and things such as my man. Very nice, very nice. I'm drinking coffee out of my own face, out of a Wendigoon mug. Thank you. Also, the Bible Theory Iceberg was the first incarnation. Well, I mentioned giants in the conspiracy theory iceberg, but the Bible Theory Iceberg was the first time I explained the Nephilim and stuff like that. So giants technically comes from that video. So yeah, it has to be S tier. I need to wrap this up because I think, let me confirm, I think we're recording for the red thread in like 45, so need to wrap this up by then. Let me make sure. Honestly, cool. All right. I know I constantly rewatch your vids. Oh, thank you, thank you. What type of creamer do you like? What's that brand? It's called like Delight or whatever. The red one, whatever the red one is, I forget. My wife buys it, or I do the grocery runs, but she tells me what to buy because I'm not an idiot. Not an idiot in that regard. This video, oh boy. Okay, so this video actually led to some controversy. A lot of you may not. I'm just putting it in S tier to hold it. A lot of you may not know. This is the director sent us the most disturbing movie of all time. This was a follow-up to this video about disturbing movies. A guy claimed to be the director of Thomas Cinemagore is the alias. Someone claimed to be Thomas Cinemagore and to be sending me and Mr. Gigi his new most disturbing film ever made. And then when you watch it, it's just like a meme compilation, and it has a few other known disturbing movies in it, like the Serbian film. It was just a joke. So I make a video explaining the whole thing and explaining who is impersonating Thomas Cinemagore. And then I talked to Plagued Moth about it because he was involved. It was someone from his Discord server who sent it to me. But then there was this whole controversy around maybe that person was like planning to release it with. I can't remember all the details, but I remember it caused drama that it was like a clout chaser, and then people said I platformed him when really I didn't know there was a whole like lore behind it. So yeah, it was like it was this whole stink, and I haven't made videos like that since, just because it's really intellectually empty. Like there's no research or something to it. It's just like, oh, guys sent me a video, let's watch it. So yeah, whatever. It's an F tier video, but it was my first collaboration with Mr. GG, which is has a place in my heart. But it's not a well made video on my end. Oh yeah, very very familiar Soviet Snake. I'm super familiar with those. Marble Hornets holds up very well. I've thought about making a video about it. Mr. Crypt Iceberg. No. You're misunderstanding, Merrick. It's not that the Thylakine's an F because it's an extinct animal. It's because the Megalodon probably went extinct millions of years ago or whatever, and the Thylakine went extinct while your grandmother was alive. Completely different. One is just like, oh, well, it could have skipped a couple generations, whatever, and it's lame. The Megalodon would shake up our understanding of history as a whole, and it's also a really cool lethal shark. So, yeah. Chad. Spherity. Yeah. Stuff like that, Chad. Yeah, it went a long way. Serial Killer Iceberg. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do all parts of it. I think a bunch of people like it, which is why I'm considering doing it again, or like making a supercut of it for December. But they're all B tier to me. All the parts of the Serial Killer Iceberg are B tier. I like that I'm able to dive in and talk about all those disturbing cases and whatnot. Or not disturbing cases. I talk about the killers because I want to not associate the victim's name with them like in the way I did previously. I talked about that with the Anthill Kids analysis thing. I do like diving that deep into aspects of it that's normally not covered, but yeah, it's like a B tier. Let's see. Gemini Home Entertainment. My second ARG coverage, and one that definitely, like, it was Local 58, only I did it much better. By my modern standings, I still could have done it better. But yeah, this definitely pointed me in the direction I'm heading now. So yeah, it's B tier. What about the pink eye cult vid? I actually took that video down because I thought it was so dumb. So I would have put it at F tier if it was still up. There's a video on my channel, for those that don't know, where I talked about this cult called the Cult of the Pink Eye, which was just a cult that's supposed to give you the day that you die. Turned out to just be this internet program where they manipulated the YouTube, like the editor system, to get what they wanted out of it. And it really wasn't that interesting once the story of it came out. And the video was so rushed because it was the hot, new thing. I just thought it wasn't well made, so I took that video down. You mentioned a Bible podcast about children. Couldn't find the verse for that. Do you have one? I don't have it on hand. I know that Paul talks about somewhere the feeble-minded is, I think, the wording the KJV uses. The feeble-minded being under grace. But if I'm sure I'll mention it at some point, or we'll talk about it in the Bible podcast eventually. But no, I don't know the specific verse. The cannibal killing of Michael Rockefeller. I'm going to call that one an A tier. I'm still happy with how that went. It's a lesser known historical story that involves the killing of a famous person, but similar to this video, similar to the Archduke Ferdinand video, in a way not a lot of people know about, but talking about the more interesting aspects of it. So yeah, I'll call that A tier. I like that. I like that video. And I like how it turned out. And that video actually did so well off the jump that it got a lot of people talking about Michael Rockefeller who had never heard of the case. So it was cool to see the video float around online after that. So yeah, I'd call it A. Misery Plastic video is what I watch on hard days in a personal S tier. I appreciate that you like it that much, but I don't think I'm going to give it S tier when we get to it. But thank you. This video, F tier. If a video is just me describing stuff or like talking about it with no research, nothing else, or it's all just personal, that's an F tier for me. It's just filler. I'm not saying I'll never make another one of those videos again, but I just personally don't like them as much. This is just me describing the hair psychopathy. Oh, funny enough you mentioned it. Here is the Mystery Flesh Pit video. We need a mug plug. Your mug plug's in the description. Head down to the description. You choose. There's your mug. Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. It's at least C tier. Yeah, it's a video of me talking about the lore. Now, the content, like the thing I'm talking about, is S tier. The Flesh Pit is so cool. It's so, so cool. And I'm glad I could introduce people to it. I could have organized it better than just like scrolling through the website, jumping around to different topics. I'm glad it put so many more eyes on Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. But I think I could have done a better job at analyzing it. I think I'm going to give it B tier. We're giving it B. Here, you know what? I'll put it early in B. I'm not keeping track, by the way, of early or late, but you can call it a B plus if you want. The spy who, the story about Garbo the spy who hilariously won World War II. I kind of want to give it an A tier. For me, these are the videos that I love doing so much. Taking a historical case, talking about the theories, the extra stuff around it, seeing where it went. And I love the story of Garbo the spy. It's so funny, not a lot of people know about it. And because of this video, a lot of people did learn about it. As much as I love stuff like Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. Actually, hold on. Let me put it. It's still B plus. Let me put it down here so we can keep the chronology that we have going on. I love Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, but to me, it's almost more important. Well, I want the artist like Trevor. It's one of the Trevors. I'm losing his name right now, but I want the artist to get credit for what they're doing. I also think that history is more important because it's too easy to forget. So I love being able to get across stories that not a lot of people know about. So yeah, I'd call that A tier. Thank you very much, Chief. I'm glad you all are kind, but I am my own worst critic. I have to be, because if I'm not, then everything falls apart. So I have to keep myself accountable. Roberts, yes, Trevor Roberts. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad Trevor Roberts got attention, but history, if we don't tell history, we lose it. So I'm glad we're unable to tell it. Oh, thank you, Cherry. That's very kind. You subscribed at that. That's cool. Every political ideology explained. Okay, this video. I'm not putting it S tier again, holding it. This video. Everyone jumped me for this video online because they're like, clearly that's not how this party works because it blah, 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 blah. And there was a book written in the 50s that's like, look, I'm not a political guy. I don't like politics. I frankly kind of hate them. I don't read political theory. If something's inherently political as far as like modern or like inconsequential politics go, I hate it. Obviously, any work that relates to government, war, or whatever is going to be political. But I only, like, that's different than like immediate politics, whatever. I try to avoid them. The purpose of this video was it was a breakdown for people who just aren't familiar. A lot of people who just get on the internet are looking for, or a lot of people who don't stay on the internet they think Democrat, Republican is as big as the political spectrum gets. So the purpose of this video was just to be like, hey, there's a lot more stuff. Like, here's where communism would lie. This is how libertarianism remotely relates to this. And a bunch of people who understood that, or like, sorry, not, that makes me sound better than someone else. A bunch of people who acknowledged that and were politically minded were like, yeah, this is a good entry to a lot of the concepts mission, which is all that I wanted it to be. So I'm happy with how the video turns out. But that being said, it's just kind of a surface level glance over a lot of different ideas, kind of like an iceberg in that sense, only not as intricate. So yeah, I'm gonna call it B tier. I'm still happy with how that video turned out, but I did get jumped for it pretty hard by people who were like, this guy thinks he knows how second duelist Vladimirism works or whatever. It's like, I really don't care. I love that your Mothman and Esther is a kid, my older brother. That's very funny, Guru. I think I did that to my sisters. Kingsman Kingsman was Sports Resort F tier. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I had to. All right. Walking Dead Iceberg Explained. I'm also if I'm glad people like the Walking Dead video. I lost it. Okay. I'm glad people like the Walking Dead video. But to me, it's just pop culture. To me, it's just like I like this thing, so I want to talk about it. And I don't even like The Walking Dead now. I like what it was, but I don't like the current show. So I'm putting it at C tier. The video's better made than the Star Wars Iceberg, so it goes up one, but it's still the same. Conceptually, it's the same thing to me. Like it's popcorn content, just like Easy Passive. So I'll give it C because I do like how it turned out production wise, but I don't think it's a well-made video. I'm sorry. I think it's well made. I don't think the content is all that interesting. Okay, so I would give this video F tier because it's just me reacting to Everywhere at the End of Time, but I do think my reaction was able to highlight some of the points with it that were interesting, and it brought attention to something that I think needed to have attention brought to it, the Caretakers album. So I didn't do anything regarding it. The content is more interesting than most of my F tier stuff, so I'll bump it up one to D tier. So I'll give it D. It's nice that a lot of you all are agreeing. Something else that I'm very happy with these videos is like in Connor's video going over it, most of the time he wasn't even describing what I was doing in the video. He was describing the thing I was talking about. And that was so encouraging because that's what I want people to remember from these videos. I don't want them to take away what I did or how I made my content. I want them to take away the stories I talk about. So to hear someone describing my video and the first thing that comes to mind is the stories within the video, that's very cool to see. So videos where I do that with things like this, those mean a lot to me. So 9 types of biblical angels. I would put it at A because I like talking about the angelology. I thought it was interesting and all that. That being said, I could have done more with visual elements. I could have done more with like talking about how other religions incorporate them. I dropped the ball a little bit, but I'm still pretty happy with how it turned out. So I'm going to call it B tier. I'm glad it incorporated, it introduced a lot of people to those concepts of angelology, but it could have been more. The Akali Raft video. Okay, so to me, this, where'd it go? Where? I keep dropping. Okay, here it is. To me, this video is the best video out of this. The whole, like these 3 right here. Taking a lesser known historical event, talking about what makes it so weird or wacky. I think I did the best there with the Akali Raft. Like almost no one knew about that story, at least on YouTube. Not a lot of people knew about that story until I talked about it, and now people make jokes about it and memes about it, which is very funny. I'm gonna be honest, for me, it's an S tier video. Like the way the production of it turned out, the way people talked about it after it had happened, one of my proudest videos, I would honestly say. Yeah, I'd have to give that one an S tier. So much better than the 4 papers I should be writing. Write those right now. My personal S tier is your Brown Mount Lights video. I appreciate that positivity. I don't think, well, we'll get to that when we get to it. Yeah, I'd have to give it an S tier. I would also... Okay. Let's do all of the Divine Comedy as one. Let's go ahead and get all those out of the way. Part of me wants to put it as S tier because I'm so happy with how I was able to talk about a book that pretty much no one in the modern age talks about that much. And like I was able to get that across to a new audience, new people got interested in it. I love it so much for that reason, but that being said, I could have been more concise at parts. I could have been more descriptive in parts. Not really I'm very happy with how the Inferno part turned out, more so with like the Purgatorio part. I'll put it at A tier. I'll put it at A tier. This is also one. There's a few videos that people will send me screenshots or like pictures of are used in college lectures. Like I had someone send me like from this big lecture hall. There's like 100 people in the room, like this auditorium seating, and the professor was showing my Dante's Inferno video because they were doing a series about the Divine Comedy. So like that's so cool to see. I'm glad people like the videos that much. But yeah. I have to A tier. I want to put it at S, but I could have done better in some parts. I don't think it's quite an S tier video, so I'll give it an A. All right. The first Mandela Catalog video. This video was insanely important to me when it came out. I remember where I was when I uploaded it, all that. I remember talking to Alex. I'm glad that the series took off before I made the video on it, but like we've grown in tandem, him and I together, which has been very cool to see, especially because he's a friend of mine now. I don't place the ARG videos personally as high as I place like the history videos, the analysis, stuff like that. To me, the history, the storytelling, the true crime stuff is more important. It's a good ARG coverage, but it's still an ARG coverage to me. So I think it's going at B tier. Yeah. I think it's going to B tier. The Mandela Catalog is S tier, but my coverage of it, I think, is a B tier. So, all right. This one, I don't like this video. I think I have to put it at C tier. I like the concept. I think I could have done more with it because I gave a very brief look over cases. I could have talked more about like the accusations from reporters. I could have talked more about conspiracy, but instead I kind of just focus on this is what the Amityville haunting was. This is what the Conjuring was. And I don't go into that much detail about the Warrens when I could have. I could have done a lot more for that. Do I want to put it at D tier? No, because D tier is mostly stuff that was inspirational but not good at all. I think there's some merit to the that video because I do like give introductions to like a lot of the hauntings you'll see in the Conjuring films and stuff like that. So I think it has some value, but not that much. Put it at C tier. The Most Terrifying Ocean Mysteries. That's also C. That's also C tier. Similar to this one, it's me describing a series of stories, not that much research, kind of just like, oh, here's some weird things that happen. And I'm glad people liked it. I'm glad people liked my rant at the end, just talking about why the ocean was scary. But again, it ain't that deep. Like the ocean's deep, but my video on it ain't that deep. Here's how I gauge it. I wouldn't make that video now. If I were to cover that topic, I would change it up. I'd make a lot of things different, but I would not make that video now. So, yeah. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Or A Hopeful Hell is what I think I titled it. I like this one. I talked about a story that was popular, but not a lot of people knew the concepts of it. Or the specifics of it, I mean. I talk about my theory with what the book means at the end. I talk some about the author. Really, like, thinking back on it, it hits a lot of the points I tried to hit in the modern day for videos. I'm happy with how it turned out. I think it's an A tier. I don't think I could give it S just because it is just me explaining a story. Like, here's a book. I'm going to read portions for it. We're going to talk about it. You know, like it ain't that deep. But for what it is, I'm very happy with how it turned out. Yeah, I think putting it on the same tier with the Divine Comedy videos makes sense. I think that tracks. So yeah, I'll give it an A tier. Ain't No Way Christmas with the Cranks is an F tier. That's a masterpiece. It's a master troll, which is what it turned out to be. But it's not a great Winnegoon video, I wouldn't say. Not that any of my videos are great, but relative. Okay. All right. The Monsters Beneath Us, the Monument Mythos. This video is a conundrum because it's the most watched video on my channel, and I don't really like it because I took way too long. I know people like the length, but I took way too long. Asking again about the Bible bit about feeble-minded being under grace. The implications would be very important to me as a Lutheran. If you use passage again, please quote direct verse. Thanks. I'll cover it at some point, James. Thank you for the 20. I appreciate it. I don't like the video because I took way too long to explain stuff that could have been much shorter. I like the Monument Mythos. I just think I could have done a better job covering it. Didn't have to be that long. I know a lot of you like it, but it leaves to be desired for me. I would put it at C tier for content and how it turned out, but because of popularity, I'll leave it up here with the Mandela Catalog, even though I think the Mandela Catalog video is better. Yeah, we'll leave it at B. It's not that good, fam. The Chris McCandless story I love, story I got to talk about. I'm putting it at A tier. To me, it fits in with like the Michael Rockefeller video and this video. Like, yeah, I'd call that an A tier. Conspiracy tier list, F tier. It's just me reacting to stuff, not research. It's just me reacting to stuff I already covered. Disturbing donations. That's a D tier video. It's a reaction, so normally it'd be like F tier, but it was with my friend Mr. Gigi. We got to banter off each other and talk. I'll go ahead and put the other one there as well. Both of these are D tier. I like them. They're a lot of fun to make. I'd be down to do it in the future, but I mean, it's just me reacting to stuff. It's not that deep. I like spending time with Gigi though. He's a good friend of mine. I enjoy it. But yeah, I'd call those D tier. All right, the MLK assassination video. The MLK assassination video is everything that I wanted the JFK video to be. It was better researched. I had read through court reports. I had clips from documentaries and court trials. I had clips from the killer, right? The MLK video is what I want my JFK video to be and what I want a remake of it to be. That my only gripe I have with the MLK video is I didn't know how the camera's lighting system worked at the time. So the camera will keep auto adjusting brightness and it looks kind of off-putting if you look at the corners. But that's how nitpicky I am because I love everything about this video. For me, it's an S tier. This is what I want my conspiracy videos to be like. I'm so happy with how it turned out. So yeah, that's an S tier for me. Mass Hysteria Iceberg. B tier. It's I think I did good research, but it's just an iceberg, surface level look at stuff. Yeah, I'd give it B tier. The Voyage of Terror. A tier. All these videos that are me talking about lesser known historical stuff, going into the theories, what could have happened, what might have happened. I love those videos so much. And all of these so far, I feel like I did an adequate job. Like I look back at them like, yeah, I'm happy with how that turned out. So for me, The Voyage of Terror is A tier. I love the Franklin expedition. It's such a heartbreaking story to me. So yeah. This one, the video about Munchausen by proxy. B tier. I like taking I like taking this lesser known disease or like this weird controversial disease, talking about the stories around it, giving cases. I like that. Rewatching it, I think I was a bit too scatterbrained. Like I go a bit too far down one tangent and then try to tie it into something else, but doesn't really work. If I would have tightened up, honestly, if I would have scripted, but I don't script, so whatever. Honestly, if I would have scripted that video, it would be an A tier. But because of like how all over the place was, I think I have to call it a B. So USS Indianapolis. Okay, I would put the USS Indianapolis at A tier because it matches up with like, you know, the Garbo the Spy video, the Rockefeller videos, like a lesser known historical story. But there was no like theory to it. There was no avant-garde stuff. It was just like, here's the thing that happened. Here's how it went. And I'm glad it brought more attention to the story, but it really was just me relaying the story without a ton of research. Like, pretty much what I got out of that video, you could probably get out of a journal article regarding the story. So, yeah, I have to put it B tier. It didn't do that much special, whereas I think some of these videos did. So, yeah, B tier. No, I do not script my videos. No, I've never, I never use a script. The closest I did is in the Cryptid Iceberg lately for the first time ever. The parts when images appear on screen and I'm giving a brief like paragraph rundown of creatures, I wrote those out. I've never done that before. And I honestly did that just to streamline the process to make the recordings quicker. But yeah, I don't script. Yep. Siberia's Tragic Terror. A tier. Yeah. To me, this is the same as like these other theory videos, like the Rockefeller video, taking a weird historical story and talking about what might have happened. So I like it. Yeah, A tier. The Five Nights at Freddy's video. Five Nights at Freddy's is so ridiculous, and it's my opinion on the timeline. I'll put it at C tier because it's just pop culture stuff. It's not that in depth or anything that crazy. It's just my take on it. I still agree with my take on it, even if it's got retconned 8 times since, but that doesn't count because the series is all over the place. I'll call it a C tier video. I know a lot of people like it, but it's literally just Five Nights at Freddy's. The FNAF VHS tapes, I'm also going to put it C tier because I think they're the same quality. This was a bit rushed, a bit scatterbrained, so I'm not going to put it up here with the other ARGs. I could have been more analysis. I could have talked more about the fandom as whole, other stuff they've done. It's whatever. Yeah, so they're both C tier to me. The Hypnagogic Archive. A lot of people don't like the Hypnagogic Archives videos. I do personally. Because it's interesting to me to have an ARG that isn't just watching videos, you're also reading stuff like that. That being said, I think I split this into 2 videos because I had to hit a deadline for ads. And I wish it could be 1 video, but also it's dumb to make 2 videos into a compilation, you know? I mean, after the fact, like, it'd be dumb to do it now. The Hypnagogic Archive is really cool, but I think my coverage of it has to be C tier, I think. I think I'm going to put them both at C tier. Yeah. Fordlandia. I'm so happy the Fordlandia video took off like it did. People who had never heard of it before now talk about it. They treat it like it's common knowledge. It's a very wild story, a very interesting story. I'm happy it's as popular as it is. I'm putting it up here at A. Because these are my jam. McCandless, The Voyage of Terror, the Kamar Daban Pass. These historical mysteries I love so much. So even though there's not a lot of mystery to it, I might put it at B, but just because it gave the topic so much more coverage, stuff like that, I'd call it an A tier. The Tokyo Rose video did not do as well as the other historical ones, but I'm happy with covering a lesser-known travesty in American history that not enough people talk about. To me, that's the same as like the Fordlandia video. I'm putting it at A tier. This video. Okay, Salad Fingers is a series that's kind of immune to analysis because of the way it's built, and I tried to make it an analysis. And I really don't think I should have. I think the better way to cover the series is to just talk about it rather than trying to dissect, oh, this character did this and that. So I don't think it fit well into what I had to say about it. I think the section of me talking about childhood stories is way too long. It could have been like a third of the length and been fine, that segment of the video. I think it's too long-winded. I think I go about the topic the wrong way. So C tier. It's not so bad that I would call it D tier, but it's not up to par with like the Monument Mythos or the Mandela video. So yeah, it's down here with, I think it's worse than my Hypnagogic Archive videos, but I would call them all C tier, I think. Yeah. All right. Oh boy. The Conspiracy Theory Iceberg. Alright, you know what we're doing. I don't know whose phone number that is getting a call. It's the CIA. Let's see what you all have to say about it. A lot of y'all are saying S tier. If we are talking about impact on me personally, this series is the reason I'm Iceberg Boy. This is the series that got icebergs popular. This is the series. No, I mean not icebergs. Icebergs were already popular. This is the series that got me popular off of icebergs. This, for personal reasons, it's like an S tier, but a lot of those topics in there I could have covered so much better. I could have done more. Looking back on it, there were better ways to go about research. There are ways to make it less clunky. I'm glad the series did as well as it did, and I'm proud of it, but I don't think I could give it an S tier. So for me, it's an A tier video. The Conspiracy Theory Iceberg series is A tier. It is the Windigoon video. You're right. You're right. But it could have been better. So I gotta give it an A tier. It doesn't stand up here with these to me. It doesn't stand up there with these. Now the LA, the North Hollywood shootout, that's an S tier. That's an S tier for me. I feel like that is an S tier because it is going over a story. It is talking about all the angles. I love looking into all these different reports I saw. I loved watching documentaries and then being like, that's incorrect. That's wrong information. Because they just didn't know what they were talking about. That was great. Watching news cam footage, comparing it to other stuff. The only gripe I have with that video is that part of it got copyright claimed by a media company. So I had to take out some of the footage I was describing. But I love it. I think it's an S tier. I rewatched that video. Not because I like listening to my own voice or anything, but because I'm so happy with how it turned out, it makes me happy. So yeah, that's an S tier. And to the same note, the Waco video is also an S tier. Both of these are recounts of recent American history that the details of it get muddled and tossed around a lot. I got to do theorizing with the Waco video, stuff like that. Yeah, to me, these are two of my best videos, honestly. Looking at these top 5 right now, I would agree that these are like 5 of my best videos. Yeah. The Waco video I'm very happy with. Actually, I forgot to do this earlier, but for Mandela Catalog, let's just go. I would consider all the parts of it. I was talking about all the parts earlier, but I'd consider all the parts of it to be B tier. Not the series, but just the way I cover it could be better. So I'm going to go ahead and put all Mandela segments as B tier, yeah. The Boys on the Tracks. I want to call it A tier, but because, I think rightfully so, I was so afraid of backlash from directly implicating political leaders into a murder. It left a lot to be desired visually or whatnot, so I'm going to call it B tier. But just know that if I did use all the visual elements I wanted to, I would consider it A tier. But because of what it is, I'd call it B. Left me weepy tears of joy at the end. It is, the end of Monument Mythos was cool. The What Are You Made Of, Good People. Oh, speaking of, yeah. Part 2 of Monument Mythos is also B tier. Yeah, all those. When I speak about one of them, I'm speaking about the whole series. Missing 411. It's a B tier video. I think it's a B plus. I talk about a lot of Missing 411 cases, but it's kind of Scrabble brained. I wanted that to be the introduction to the Missing 411 series, of which there's only been one video at this point, but whatever. But yeah, doing that video with Aiden was really cool. I like bringing a lot of the Missing 411 stories to light. I like Missing 411, so I'll call it B. The McCamey Manor video. That's an A tier. I wouldn't give it S. But talking about all the conspiracies around the manor, all the weird stuff going on with the cases or whatnot. Yeah, it's an A tier. I like it. Um, this video, I would put up here in A tier because it's another one of those historical ones, but I'll put it in B, I think. Not as many theories to go off of. It wasn't that I didn't have to do that much compiling of different sources. It's kind of just a narrative that's well documented, so I just basically am reading off the story as it's listed in several different, journal articles or whatever. It didn't require that much effort on my end, so I'm going to call it B tier, but I'm happy with how that one turned out. Paradise Lost. To me, it's the Dante's Inferno video, but better. I think I did a better job explaining why the story's important, what its impact was, talking about the themes, the narrative, stuff like that. To me, it's a better Dante's Inferno series. It's me improved off of what I was previously doing. So, oh, that's very kind. Also, hi, Alex. That's very kind, Alex. I appreciate that, but I don't hold it that highly. But I'm glad you do. Yeah, Paradise Lost is an S tier for me. It's where I want to be with the way I analyze old stories. I get emotional about it. And as we talked about earlier, it's a way to incorporate my faith into a greater work. So yeah, that's an S tier for me. Start watching you from the official podcast of the Lore Lodge. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, All Dragons. I appreciate that. Backroom, similar to Mandela Catalog and Monument Mythos. I love the series. I love the series that the content's about. But my video is just a description of things that are happening, maybe some theory crafting, but my video doesn't add that much to the original work, so B tier along with those. This one, the Vincent van Gogh video. Not a lot of people on YouTube, or at least people who were like well documented, talked about the conspiracy around his death, which was known in the historical realm, but not that much online. For me, that's an A tier video. It goes up here with the other history mysteries. I got to get through the rest of this fast. Let me say maybe 5. Late, but will be there shortly. Letting the boys know, because I'm supposed to be recording the red thread, but gotta wrap this up. Okay. I appreciate that, Noodle Mother. Thank you. All right, so next up, Frankenstein. Frankenstein is similar to Paradise Lost in that it's an analysis of an old story that doesn't get a lot of attention. That being said, there wasn't as much for me to personally ascribe to Frankenstein as there was stuff like Paradise Lost. And I also botched the upload because I tried to make it a premiere because YouTube says premieres help new people see videos, and that's a lie. It tanked viewership in the beginning so bad that I had to delete the video and re-upload it. So I have bad memories around that, but I'm very happy that with how the analysis turned out, it introduced more people to the story. But because I couldn't make it perfect, I couldn't make it as well as I think I could have now, A tier. I think it's an A tier video. Yeah, I'll call it A tier. All right. All Quiet on the Western Front. I'm glad people like this video. I'm glad people found the movie because of it, but it's just me explaining what's happening on screen. To me, it's the same level of quality as my ARG's reviews, and that I'm not really creating or analyzing that much. It's mostly me just describing things you can go watch for yourself, right? So it's a B tier. I have to give it a B tier for that. The time the CIA faked a vampire attack to take over the Philippines. This is, for those that don't know, this is where the meme comes from. The audio of me going, and remember, kids, the next time someone tells you the government wouldn't do that. Oh, yes, they would. That audio comes from the CIA, that video. So that's fun. But again, same as these other videos, taking a historical event and then turning it into like, oh, well, here's the theories around it. Here's how it could be changed. I'm happy with how that turned out. A tier. That book also, I've read parts of that book. There's a lot of content in there. No Longer Human. B tier. Anytime it's me going over a piece of media and it's mostly me describe, like Paradise Lost is different because Paradise Lost is me talking about a book that people in the modern age really don't read, and talking about why it's important, what it means. No Longer Human is mostly me just describing a modern work, right? So to me, it's not as important. Maybe A tier because I'm really happy with how, where I thought the connection lied between Junji Ito's work and Desai's work. I'll leave it at A tier. I do like that video. I'm happy with how it is. Ghost Lights of Appalachia. This video is such a big deal to me because it was a personal story that I had heard of in the region, and then I go in person to do it. And a lot of those stories I talk about in that video, I found people in person. I wish I could have recorded my conversation with them, but they didn't want to be recorded, and I respect that. But it's not S tier because I could have done better. It could have been more than just me talking about stories. But as far as going into the field and finding stories that had never been written down anywhere and then recording them historically, that means a lot to me. I'm going to call it an A tier, I think. And for me, personally, it's an S tier, like in my heart, as far as like doing something I always wanted to do. But it's not that great production-wise. Missing Milk Carton Kids thing. That's an A tier because similar to these, it's a historical thing not a lot of people know about that I got to analyze. I'm calling it A tier. Lost Books of the Bible. B tier. I would put it at A, but there wasn't really a direction for why I was covering what I was covering. It was more all over the place. If I had scripted it, I think I could have made it an A tier, but because it was just kind of me rambling on about stuff, I'm calling it B. F tier. That video was just because I'm at an abandoned nuclear power plant, so I want to walk around it. So it's literally just me walking around for a while. There's no quality to it other than memes. So B tier. F tier, I mean. The Dennis Martin case is also an A tier. Would have been an S tier if we found the bush that he went missing behind. But all the things I said about Ghost Lights of Appalachia, just paste that there. It was fun to do it with the Lore Lodge crew, but it's not an S tier video, but I would call it A tier. I like going out in the field and doing stuff like that. Oh, interesting. Your Skin Reek video. I appreciate that, Curmudgeon. Thank you. I mean, I probably would at some point, Jordan, after I get done with the initial stuff. Skinamarink. Okay, it's just me analyzing media, which would put it at B tier. But I do think my analysis of it is more valid than a lot of my analysis of other media. I'll call it an A, because as far as like, not necessarily the topic I'm covering, but as far as my coverage of a topic, it's one of my favorites. I think it's one of the best work I've done. So I'm going to call it an A tier. Oh, cool, Crew Kid. I appreciate that. I'll call it A tier. The Mystery of the Bomb Collar Bank Heist. I want it to be an S tier video. It is me going over a true crime story, but talking about all of the different players and stuff like that. It's not as well. Hold on, I'm getting my Discord call. Hold on, let me mute. Okay, hold on. It's me talking about like all the logistics of it or whatnot. Yeah, it's S tier. I like that video a lot. I love how that turned out. The Gloria Ramirez story. I would put that one at S tier, because I love that I was able to talk about the story of like maybe it was this crazy reaction of chemicals and stuff, because that hadn't been covered on YouTube a lot, and it kind of gave like new light to an old internet urban legend. That being said, I did not put the research in for that one. That was through medical channels and different experiments that were done that I talked about in the video. that wasn't my finding. That's me talking about someone else's finding. So I'll put it at A tier. Whereas stuff like the bomb collar bank heist was more so like my idea of maybe this person did this person did that, or whatever. So because I personally didn't have that much skin in the game, I'll give it A. But yeah. Paradise Regained. Not as good of a video as Paradise Lost. As a matter of fact, it was much more basic, just me talking about it. Not that cool. I would put it at B tier for that reason, but I was able to make some stuff about the story of Jesus and Satan or whatever. I'll give it A tier. Why not? Also, I'm not going to go record right now because Charlie's not even there yet. I can see he's not in the call. So when he gets in there, I'll be pressured. But for now, yeah, I'll give it A tier. Okay, I would put the Hisashi Ouchi video, the most painful death ever. I would put that at S tier because I'm so happy that I got to talk about a story that doesn't get talked about a lot historically. That being said, 95% of the research I did for that video was the book I read about it. The book that was written, I forget the author's name, I mentioned him in the video, and I credit the book and all that. The majority of the facts of that case come from that book. The journalist and reporter who got all that information on the ground when it happened. So because the research wasn't that in-depth, it was kind of basic on my end, I feel like it needs to be an A tier. That being said, I am happy with how the story turned out. Well, at the same time, a lot of the other stuff I cover is books written by other people, you know, like Paradise Lost or whatnot. But these are all videos that I pieced together myself over time. Like, the content of the video didn't really exist before I analyzed it in the way I did. But this one did. Okay, fine. S tier, whatever. Fine. If you say so. I do like it. Blood Meridian video. That's got to be a B tier. I love Blood Meridian. I wish I could have done it more justice. I felt pressured with using the green screen to get the video out. I could have added better visual effects. I could have added more stuff. It's just me talking for 5 hours. I'm glad you all enjoyed it, but that book video could have been more. So it's going with the other media analysis. Ritual of Death. I would put it at A tier because it's another historical note, but I don't really do that much analyzing or talking about it. I kind of just am reading off stuff. B tier. I see you all are mad. You're just going to have to get used to it. This one's also B tier. Both of these videos were kind of short notice pieces that I'm not super happy with how they turned out. I could have done more in both cases. Horrors of Unit 731, B tier. All these videos feel the same to me, of me just describing historical events that happened without giving the same je ne sais quoi, without giving the same spice to them that I gave like these videos. So yeah, it's a B. It's a B tier. They're B tiers for me. I see y'all get mad. Well, that's too bad. This is a better... To me, this video is a better conspiracy theory iceberg video. Not conspiracy. A better disturbing movie video. So I think I did better at the content. However, it's the same vibe, less popular. It's a B tier. Video's a B tier for me. Yep. It's kind of mid. All right. The Yuba County 5. It's the only video. I'm not saying this to make myself sound cool. I'm just saying this objectively. It's the only high-profile video or coverage I've seen of the case that did not immediately pin the fifth man as a killer. And as a matter of fact, I think he was innocent. And it's one of my personal favorite jobs I've done of taking this wide interconnected story and then tying it down to what might be one narrative, a lot of theory crafting. Yeah, it's S tier, I think. I think I have to put it S tier. All right, we're down to 2. I think the Faith video is the best media analysis video I've done as far as like modern games, ARGs, whatever. I think it's the best. That being said, it's not like Paradise Lost where I'm reviving some old tale, some new old story. It is just modern media, me talking about what's cool, what works. That being said, I did get to insert a lot of personal stuff into it. I'm real happy to see you all yelling S, but I think I have to put it at A tier. Yeah, I think it's an A tier. I'm really happy with how it turned out, but just based off what... I'm not adding that much by just talking about what you could find for yourself, right, in the game. And then finally, the last video. The Ted Kaczynski one. The Cryptid Iceberg isn't on here, because this was made before then, but if it was, I would put them at B tier, because again, it's just an iceberg. I like with how it's going, but it's not that deep. The Ted Kaczynski video. I loved that I was able to talk about the story. There were a few editing mistakes in there, whatever, which I can't edit because it's under copyright claim, so I can't take them out in post, which is great. But that aside, it is a video that I got to talk about the manifesto. I got to talk about my feelings around it. I got to talk about the case. I got to talk about why I think people like Ted Kaczynski, but why he isn't the anti-hero a lot of people crack him up to be. I am very proud of it. You know what? Because it was kind of a subversion. Because everyone expected me to be like, oh, Ted's a cool guy. But it was kind of a subversion of that. And why it was a subversion of that, why I don't like him. I like the period at the end where I'm sitting by the pool just talking about how I feel about Kaczynski. But production-wise, it was kind of long-winded. It wasn't as concise as it could have been. I could have made some parts shorter. A lot of rambling, which I know some people like, but in all honesty, it could tighten up. So I'm calling it an A tier. Yeah. I'd say it's as good as the Faith video as far as that goes. So with that, we have the end. We have the complete ranking of the Wendigoon catalog. So our S tiers are the Bible Theory Iceberg. I said I'd move the True Crime and Disturbing up. I'll move it up because putting 2 icebergs in my ultimate thing makes sense, and I think they both did pretty well, so I'll bump that up to S. All right, so my S tier is the Bible Theory Iceberg, the True Crime Iceberg, the Akali Raft, MLK, the North Hollywood Shootout, Waco, Paradise Lost, the pizza bombing, the most painful death ever, and the Yuba County 5. That's a good S tier. I think those are the best videos I've ever made. I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's top 10. I would say those are the top 10 videos I've ever made. Yeah, I think so. And then A tier looks good. B, I'm happy with how this turned out. Yeah, I think I agree. Looking at it, I think I agree with everything pictured. Yeah, cool. There you go. So that's that. Hopefully you all enjoyed. I need to get over to my other recording, but head to the link in the description if you would like the Wendigoon mug or the figure. And also check out Connor Curiosity's channel in the description, and check out where he ranked all my videos, what he thought of them. So go check those out if you want, both in the description. But yeah, that's my ranking. That's my ranking of everything. Wendigoon, not S. Yeah, sure. Sounds good, Mithranol. And I'll make it an S tier too. How's that sound? So yeah, that is my full ranking. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. I'm going to get over to the other thing I have to do now. But thank you all so much for being here. Thank you so much to everyone who donated. It really does mean the world. Check those things out in the description if you're interested. I believe that should do it for now. But I just want to say thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one.